Blog Talk Radio.
Like sands through the hourglass. Who uses an hourglass anymore? Come on, get yourself a digital timer up in Salem. These are the days of our lives.
Welcome to Take Two Radio. We are pleased to bring you interviews with people in the entertainment and music industry, discussions and recaps of the 4 remaining daytime soaps. That's The Bold and the Beautiful, The Young and the Restless, General Hospital, and Days of Our Lives, as well as various other shows. For upcoming and previous shows, check take2radio.com. That's with the number 2. And you can find us on Blog Talk Radio, iHeartRadio, iTunes, and other streaming apps. Follow us on social media at Take Two Radio, and thanks for listening.
Hey, good evening, everybody. This is David from Take Two Radio Open Review. I'm your stand-in host today for Pam, who is under the weather. And we have our Will, who is on vacation. But I have the rest of my group here. Carolyn.
Hello, hello.
The
Candice.
Queen.
I got a bone to pick with you, Anthony. I have a bone to pick with you.
I know, honey, but I'll be back next month.
Yeah, promises.
Yep.
Candice, girl, I
Candice.
feel like it's been forever and a day.
It'll be worth the wait.
That's good.
All
And
right,
we got
Candice,
Anthony here. How are you doing, guys?
Wonderful. Candice may be having technical difficulties, but you know she'll be here. She's
No.
got a lot to say
I'm
this
here.
evening.
I'm
here.
here. I'm here.
She's on.
I'm here.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm here. I do got a lot of things to say.
She's got a lot to say today. We
Are you
are
on
going
holiday? Are you on a break, Candice, from school, from the kids, or? No. Oh,
we're all year, honey. We're like the soap operas. We're all year round.
Oh,
I would love to.
Yeah.
I would love
Same
to
with
get
us.
a break. I would love to, but the only breaks I have is now and tomorrow morning before I go to work. So that's my break.
Yeah, they only go dark on major holidays.
Yeah.
Sometimes even I'm with the kids on major holidays. Think about that one, folks.
All right. So
okay,
Willie
guys.
usually throws.
To start off, we're going to start with Days, then Y&R for the first hour, and then Bold and GH for the second hour. And Anthony, how about I give off that number?
We'll give out that number, yeah. And if folks want to join us to talk about, so he gave us the listing of the order of the shows that we're going to talk about. So if you want to call in and talk about Days, you need to do it soon. Y&R will be next. Bulls will be close to the top of the hour, and then GH. So, yeah, David, throw that number out.
Let's throw that number out. If you're listening out there, it is 1718-506-1540. And remember to hit 1 so I can see your hand up, and then I will let you on the air.
And we'll remind you of that number in a little while in case you're listening and you forget it and you hear us say something that you want to respond to. Well, I think it's been really exciting in the world of Days lately as far as we're getting another installment of Beyond Salem. We already know that Steve Burton and, I got a very cool scoop a couple of weeks ago that Alicia Lee Willis will be making a brief appearance as well. And then we got a whole host of mic drop, things going on this week. We will be seeing the Peter Rickle. Kristen Alfonso will be coming back. We will be seeing both of Steve and Kayla's children in the form of new faces. Yeah,
hallelujah.
Hold on, guys.
Let's
I think
hope
we got a caller.
Wow, that's quick.
Let me see. I'll be right back. Talk amongst yourselves, and I'll bring them on.
All right. So, of course, Eileen Christensen is coming back to play Kristen. You know, that's a tongue twister if ever there was one. And there are a few more surprises. Let's hope that maybe they cross back into Salem proper, the children of, Patch and Kayla, because honestly, it's nice to have characters come on that have legacy. When they bring on new characters, it's fun, and we get to know them and so on and so forth. But when you've got a legacy character coming on like that, there's hundreds of beats that can be played in the storyline. So I know Candice is chomping at the bit to talk a little about this, honey. So, sprechen Sie Deutsch.
Okay, first and foremost, all I got to say is thank you, Days of Our Lives Beyond Salem, for casting Andrew Donovan. This has been a thing. And Colin Scott, who many of you guys probably seen on the Hallmark movies and stuff, is going to be playing the grown version of Andrew Donovan. Let me tell you.
Guys, I'm bringing on Joe, but he has another question for you guys.
I'll be on my way.
Joe?
Yeah.
You're on the air.
All right, guys.
You may pose
I don't
your
want to
question.
take up too much of your time. I just want to find out if anybody knows anything about Anthony Geary, if he's coming back to General Hospital, if he's still in Holland. And I don't want to take up more than 2 minutes of your time.
Well, he's been spotted in L.A. twice over the last 2 years. And, when they introduce storylines the way they do, I would imagine that we're going to see a pop-up of Luke or Fluke at some point. But, if I were putting money on it, I would say that, towards the middle of September, we're going to start seeing some action in the Ice Princess storyline, et cetera, Victor and all of that. And by November sweeps, we will probably get some sort of appearance. That's my guesstimation. Candice?
They do need to address certain storylines. And if I would actually say we probably might see him for the 15,000th episode of General Hospital because it is a lore-centric episode going through the history of lore, played by Jeannie Francis. So I would not be surprised if they kind of somehow have Tony Geary make a little cameo and whatnot. So.
Okay, and I'm going to put this out there right now. Frank Valentini, if you bring him into the Laura episode as anything other than, some sort of fantasy she's having, if you bring him as a ghost and then he turns out to be alive in November, we going to have to talk.
Well, like I said, guys, I don't want to take up any more of your time, but somebody did mention Christine Alfonso, who played Hope. If you're going to talk about her, I'll put myself on mute, find out what the latest news on her, and then I'll just be silent and leave. Thank you, guys.
Where are you?
All right, awesome.
Joe, where are you calling from?
Yeah, Montana.
Montana.
That's awesome. Well, welcome to Take Two Radio. Feel free to unmute if you hear something and you want to respond. All right. So
thanks.
Back to Andrew Donovan, Candice.
Yes. So
Teresa's
we have not
brother.
seen this character. Yeah. So this
All right, I'll put
is
myself
Shane
on mute
Kim.
now, guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
So Andrew Donovan has not been seen since early 90s. This is the other child of Shane and Kim. This is a much talked about character that everybody has been wanting to see as an adult, and we're finally going to get it. And yes, that's Teresa's brother. So we got not only, Dave's fans, hear me out, what I'm about to say. We're getting Steve and Kayla's kids, okay? You notice I said kids and not kids, because originally it was supposed to be Stephanie, right? No. We're now getting the other, we're getting the children. We're getting the children.
We're getting Joey, too.
Okay? Yep. We got Joey and everything like that. I'm just going to say it because I think some of us guessed it based off of a picture. This is what I'm talking about, the FBI of Soap Twitter. Yep, we all came through. Christopher Sean is returning, and I'm going to tell you right now, let's go. I am so happy he is back because he's never ruled out returning to Days. And, folks, let me address this. They're coming on Beyond Salem, okay? Now, with the minor exception of 2 characters, we all know one of them is Stephanie, who's going to be crossing over to the mothership. But there's one other person that's going to go over to the mothership. And wait, I'm going to tell you right now, if you're a true FBI of soap Twitter, Beyond Salem has not finished their casting announcements yet.
They're not.
If you think really hard, there's probably one person that needs to be there. And if you follow this person on social media, you notice that this person has been posting a lot of cryptic messages and photos. And it just so happens that around the time this person would have been on Days, made their debut on Days 35 years ago. That's all I'm going to say about that. See if you can figure out. Just like Loving, figure it out.
You're talking other than Steve Burton?
Mm-hmm. And if I'm wrong, Ron Carvati, you listening? If I'm wrong, I said this on Twitter. If I'm wrong, I'll admit to it. But I'm just finding it kind of interesting. Something is adding up. And, just saying.
Is it a male or a female? Is it a male or a female?
Female. I'll say that. It's a female.
Okay.
Oh, that is intriguing. I wonder who it could be.
Just look at the playing field right now. Look at who's all on Beyond Salem, and start sizing up what their storylines could be. There's one person that actually ties into kind of a majority. Well, I would say she's okay. This person is going to be connected through 4 characters on Beyond Salem.
Well, this is a great piece.
When you say 35 years ago, when was approximately when was the last time we saw this character?
It's been a hot minute, like 20-something years ago.
35 years ago. I'm trying
Just
to
take a look, think about everybody that's on this canvas right now, the characters, okay? So I'm going to break it down again for you guys, okay?
But she's not on presently.
No, but the character has been around. The actress has not.
Call in. Any fans, call in.
The character has been around. The character's last appearance was 2, 3 years ago. But the actress who played that role has not been last seen on Days in probably 20-something years.
Oh, Charlotte.
Oh, Lord.
The original Eve.
Anthony, you're supposed to let the people call in. You're supposed to let the people call in and try to guess.
Sorry. No, because I haven't.
We were trying to build up the suspense.
Yeah, get that.
Well, girl, you and I discussed this on our last episode. If you remember.
On the last show.
Yeah.
Not on that last show, but the one before.
So I would not be surprised because it ties in with Steve Burton, who played Neil. Even though those were 3 months, keep in mind his character knew Eve was a prostitute. We also got Andrew Donovan, who is the half brother of full brother of Eve. And then you have Ben and Sierra. And keep in mind, Eve has a vendetta against Ben for killing her daughter. And if you ever remember what Eve said is, how come Ben gets a happy ending and her daughter didn't? This girl, and not for nothing, I'm going to be honest, as a member of the Twitter Nation who tweeted Mr. Ron Calavati about this, we still don't know to this day who set Sierra's wedding up. And my thought was always Eve. My thought was always Eve. But they never addressed it. And that's been 2 years. That was 2 years ago, correct? Ben and Sierra's wedding?
Yeah. Is it 3 if we count the time jump?
You know what? I don't count the time. I'm going to be nice.
Yeah. I don't count the time jump. I know it happened in Salem, but, when you really look at the campus, they're back. The time jump lasted for about, it was 5 very confusing but interesting, I'm going to say it, interesting months, and then it fell back into the same Days of Our Lives pattern. And I'm not mad at you. Those 5 months were cool.
It was an experiment. It was an experiment.
Girl, all I'm going to say is, hold on, you ready?
Yeah.
He tried it, and it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. But you know what, Queen? We haven't heard from you yet.
Yes, Carolyn.
All right, I need a little more than a chuckle. I need more than a devilish giggle, as it would say in the script.
Well,
come on, Carolyn.
All I can say is Ron is just a master manipulator. He's something else. Oh, he's got my attention. He's got Candice's attention. He's become a detective.
What I said on Twitter and Facebook the other day was, when my soap opera happenings are as good as my soap opera storylines, I'm a really happy camper.
Yeah.
The marketing, so I have to do a public service announcement, folks. This is attention to the powers that be on a certain, network that we really love. They're an institution. We love their daytime lineup. They have been, in certain places for a very long time. But you have 2 years now of looking at the little soap that could. Because that's what I kind of feel like Days of Our Lives is. It's the little soap that could. Every time you just get to that point where you're like, oh, I am so done with you. Take your sneakers, take that gym bag, and, pack yourself up and go home. I'm done.
Right.
They reel me back in. And then they give us all of this bonus drama, bonus content. The number one for how many years running soap opera, you got to step it up, folks, and you got the world's number one soap opera, right? Right after that, they need some aftermarket production too. Now, jumping all the way over to the mouse, listen, Frank, you are letting your protege, you are letting your, your monkey best friends, you were the organ player and he was the monkey jumping around. Well, you are letting him prove to you that he is one of the Planet of the Apes. He's good, so you got to step it up too. Hence in point, I'm being very, very dramatic to say, if the other 3 soaps do not pay attention to what the social media universe is doing right now, and how there is so much going on that is driving people to the mothership, as we like to call it.
That's right.
Yeah.
Perfect.
All right, now back to our regularly scheduled programming. Candice, what are you loving about Days right now, and more importantly, what's frustrating you?
What I'm loving about Days. Okay, wait a minute. Let me think here. Let me be nice. What I'm loving about, let me do my like I was in school and had to do my essay in front of the class. What I like about Days of Our Lives is EJ.
Yes. Oh, come on, girl. That's it.
That's actually it.
All
now,
right,
you want
Carolyn.
Me to go now, well, wait a minute.
Carolyn?
You asked me what am I frustrated about?
You're right. You're right. I did, but I'm afraid. I want to come back to you for that.
It won't be bad. It won't be bad.
Okay. All right, go ahead.
It won't be bad. What Candice does not like about Days is everything else, because I feel as though, one, this Sean Jan Bell situation. Okay, let me just clarify this, because this has been irking my last nerves. Okay, this is why I went on a detox. The man was raped. The man was raped. I don't care how you spin it or whatnot. But the problem that I'm having is there is a double standard happening right now, and I don't know if anybody is understanding this. The problem is
Go ahead, girl.
Days of Our Lives has done a male rape storyline. The problem is that, let's be real for a second. If this was a female, if this was Belle, right, the storyline would be totally different. Because what I'm seeing is, and tell me if I'm lying, you guys, then we all see the devil turn Jan into Belle.
We did.
Yep.
Okay. Then we see Jan Bell, that's what I'm calling Jan Bell, seduced Sean, who thought that was really Belle.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Then we see the real Belle come in when Sean and Jan Belle was in bed.
Yep.
About to get it on. Okay.
Yep.
Did we or did we not see Sean, who saw the real Belle at the door, look down at who he thought was Belle, but was Jan?
We did see that too. Yes, we did.
So everybody was in the same room at the same time, right? Here's what Candice's problem is.
But Sean was enjoying. I think there was a.
But here's the problem, though. But when he saw, like, to me, but Belle saw all of that too. Like that's the problem. The way they're playing it. Let me just address this right now. The way they're playing it is that Belle was not there. 1, 2. Okay, I'm glad they have now changed some of the dialogue because yes, he was sexually assaulted. Okay. Sean, your wife is mad at you for this very reason, and I would have been too. Y'all two are having some issues. Instead of working it out, what did you do? 1-800, I'm going to let Jan stay here so I can keep an eye on her and the baby. Honey, you have a marriage that you need to be fixing right now. You cannot be this dumb. You could have let her stay at the Salem Inn down the street at the Town Hall Square for a cheap rate of $40 per night. You did not have to. As soon as Belle left the house, the freaking door wasn't all the way slammed, and you moved this girl in. Belle, who is becoming quickly an alcoholic, and I'm sorry, she is, because I'm like, dang, every time I turn around, this girl is drinking. Her and John are talking and stuff like that, and she comes back, and, yeah, she's trying to work. What is she supposed to do when she sees Jan barefoot on her couch eating ice cream and bonbons like she's Peg Bundy, and saying, oh, Sean's going to take care of me and my baby. And Sean is just like, that's my number one. That's my number one issue. Number 2, Jan Spears needs some freaking help. And Marlena should be able to help her. Yes, it's a conflict of interest, but has that stopped Marlena before? No. Marlena has never stopped because here's the thing. I love the scenes. We're just going to give y'all the rundown here. Jan and Ben Weston scenes were the best. I appreciate it and applaud Jan because the thing is that there's a double standard again. Ben Weston was cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, okay, before they gave him everything in the book. And he did a lot worse, okay, a lot of worse. But
yeah, but
everybody
Ron's a male chauvinist.
But see, here's the thing. I'm going to say something that's going to be very controversial here, okay? My thing is that I truly sometimes do not want to believe that these head writers or executive producers are favoring another sex over another one. I refuse to kind of believe that, but sadly, Candice, I see it.
Let me have a moment just for this because I know the thought process behind these decisions. And I have to say, they actually spend time debating on the best way to present these storylines.
Oh, yeah, so, I totally understand that. But it's just... No,
but think about it for a second. If you're shooting it back and forth over a conference table and it doesn't kind of click to anyone in the room that this is not going to resonate with people in real society who have had to deal with like-minded, I mean, of course, it wasn't the devil you were looking down, but, like-minded situations, you're perpetuating so many stereotypes. I have to think that it crosses their mind and they just dismiss it and say, okay, we're a soap opera. They'll get over it because they're going to keep watching for the drama.
But I agree with that. But I look at Jan Spears, okay? Jan Spears, if anybody needs seriously, this girl, first and foremost, her parents weren't there for her back even when she graduated high school. Her father was terrible, okay? She got gonorrhea, for crying out loud. She had a miscarriage. She fantasized about a guy that she couldn't even have. Like, she literally is still a teenager stuck in a grown-up's body, right? Hence why she killed Charlie for Claire's sake, because that reminded her of her childhood, right? So those scenes with Jan and Ben when Jane even said, how come people can forgive you but can't forgive me? What do I have to do to be on that? And I was like this. Because the thing is with Ben Weston, and I'm sorry to say this, he did get the cleanse. He got the quote-unquote cleanse. And the thing is that not everybody's supposed to like Ben. Sammy doesn't like Ben. I wouldn't either after the stuff, you know. But, you know, there is a couple of people who are still not on the rah-rah system by Ben Weston's side, right? But everybody's against Jan Spears. And so, like, with Marlena, I feel as though, okay, Marlena, no offense, you can't turn your nose up at anybody. Let's take a look, just like Belle called you out this week. Look in the mirror, honey, because you ain't no saint, okay? And the devil beside, you've done a lot of stuff. So, to me, that's an issue that I'm having right now with Days. It's just I'm just finding it. I'm trying to find the balance of where it's like, okay, I don't want to say favoritism, but it's like the double standard that I'm seeing. I'm just like, interesting. Because, like I said, men do get raped, but like Brady and Kristen, do we not remember Brady was assaulted?
Yeah.
Eric was assaulted. Nick was assaulted. Will was, I mean, but the way that they play Brady and Kristen, it's like the best super couple in the world. EJ and Sammy, need I say more? But I'm just like, it's interesting. So, yeah, that's see, I didn't go into all my details about everything, but I did good. So, see, there you go. That's why I'm back on social media.
All right. So,
Yeah,
Queen Carolyn, you respond now, girl.
Now, I'm sure that they have psychiatrists, psychologists that are addressing what's going on. And it's just it's different for females and for males. I mean, I really don't want to bring in Johnny Depp, but it's basically
go there.
It's a hidden.
No, girl. I think for one of the only few times we might be on the other side, because I am pro Johnny. I'm sorry. She, you know, when they laid it all out, you were beat the ever loving up, and you were at a premiere of a movie 27 hours later. I'm sorry. No, I don't think so.
All I gotta say real quick, but let me just say this: as a person who really like watched that trial and everything, I always say this. See, this is probably why I should be a lawyer or something. I don't know, but body language tells the whole story. Even though you got words coming out your mouth, your eye contact with people, your body language, and also, I'm sorry, and I know Take Two listeners, y'all like, wait a minute, y'all talking about soap. This was a soap, okay? This was a soap, okay?
It was a soap. Oh, yes, it was.
But the thing is that, like I said, you had supplies and you had people. Look, I'm going to tell you something. All of us are friends on this line. I'm sorry. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I'm not lying for y'all. I'm not, even if y'all paid me $1 million, I'm not lying. I'm going to tell the truth and nothing but the truth. So help me, Kate Moss.
Hey, we have a caller, and you'll never guess who it is.
Okay.
You'll never guess who this is.
Okay.
Hello, caller.
Hola, amigos, everybody. It's great to be back.
Hey, it's Party Will. How
Will.
you doing, bro?
Oh, my God. Candice, I've been listening in, and I've got to tell you, girl, I am on your side. There's too much favoritism in daytime, and it's starting to show in the scenes. You can definitely tell. So, Candice, you get an award tonight. There's too much favoritism. You can tell. I'm a Days fan like you. I watch it all the time. But the scenes are a little bit too much to where you see so much on of one couple but not enough of the other. Same thing with General Hospital, Y&R. They're starting to have this little thing of having too many on all the time. So my question tonight is, what is that about? Is it a contract thing or is it a fandom thing? I want to know, what do you think about that?
Okay, so there's a couple of different reasons. But, you know, one of the things that goes on behind the scenes is they think that if they throw a certain dynamic at the audience, that it's going to keep the loyalty. They're not going to switch the channel, et cetera, et cetera. It's been prevalent for like 28 years now. In the 80s, you got a nice smattering of storylines. There was always 3 or 4 completely separate storylines going on at one time that the whole decade of the 80s. At some point in the 90s, it started to shift, and they microcosmed into there's got to be this one base that anchors the show, and then everything else satellite feeds in and out of that. And that's a model that so many of us are like, please break this already. And they do. They focus away from it for a couple of weeks, and you get all excited, and you get all into it, and then they fall right back into the same pattern. I swear to God, I'm going to jump to views just for 1 second, because if I heard Nina say one more time, and mind you, I am pro Nina. I have been pro Nina for a very long time. But as far as the writing is concerned, if I heard her say, it is so unfair, he is the last link I have to my daughter, one more time, I would have taken my television off the wall, I would have opened the window, and I would have tossed it into the pool and said, I'm done. I'm done. I can't. Okay, that was my rant. Candice, I know you're rare enough to say something.
More days?
All they had to do was Sid Wiley with what? All they had to do was Sid Wiley off with the wonderful gay couple. They would have been happy, and maybe we wouldn't have so much of this unnecessary
don't get me started
drama.
about that storyline. Please
yeah,
don't get me started with that storyline.
We're going to go into
gay
GH
people cannot
later.
be happy on daytime. It is the written rule. Gay people cannot be happy for long, because then they're going to be afraid that they have to start caressing and kissing and things, and they have to make gay people as normal as all the other couples on the show. So once they get to that point, they have to put drama in, because they can't normalize it to more than a certain point, or there'll be a backlash from the Midwestern base of their fandom. So you will never see a happy, raising children, stable couple that are male-male, female-female, never, because they won't normalize it that much. It's too much of a risk to the audience.
And
I'm sorry,
just to
I had to jump in there.
It's okay, because you know where I stand at with that. Here's the thing about the show and the fandom, and I'm going to speak on both sides, since, before I'm in the day. Shout out to my crew over there. And also what I've seen in the last couple of years. The problem is that you, as a show, yes, it's an ensemble cast, okay? But the problem is that you have to kind of rotate the cast.
You have to rotate.
And sadly, there's four soaps left, right? And their problem is that they cannot rotate all the time. Because why? Because fans are going to complain that they're not seeing their favorite character or couple as much as the next couple and character. And, we're talking about Days of Our Lives. Right. Yeah. But this is the thing, and I'll take Days of Our Lives because we're talking about it. You take a look at Days of Our Lives. Days of Our Lives is not bloated. That's a given. They're not bloated because they know how to kind of rotate in and out of characters. Their problem, which is also a blessing, is they have a lot of couples on that show. That represents each decade.
Yes.
70s, 80s,
You have
90s,
people that come in and play for a little. Yep. You have people that come in and play for a little while and go.
Right.
Yep.
Now, here's the problem. You also, like I said, you have so many couples that certain fandoms are irked because another couple gets more of the spotlight than others. And I'm just going to say it right now. The Jarlana fans and the Stayla fans, shout out to you guys, because a lot of Stayla fans were so livid that the Jarlana fandom and the Sin fans were getting everything and then some. Now the Stayla fans are happy because, well, Beyond Salem is about them. Like they're going to have the kids and, Stayla is kind of in the forefront. Then you have the Chavy fans. Oh, shout out to you guys.
Yeah, they're powerful.
In the last couple of months, they've been seen, but not as heavy as the last couple of weeks. And we all kind of know why. You know, and so it's sort of, and like, you know, you have the B couples. You have Eli and Lonnie. You know, you have Will and Sonny, who should, you know, and it kind of hurts because as a writer, you want to give everybody a happy, you know, a happy couple of episodes. You have the Craig and Nancy fans. Shout out to you guys, because they got jilted. They got jilted big time. So, yeah, I mean, I feel as though, like, the writers can't win. The executive producers, look, I'm going to say it now. Brad Bell, and I know people are going to say Candice is repping for Brad Bell. Brad Bell doesn't care. He cares.
No, he really doesn't.
He doesn't care about what the thing. Yeah, go ahead.
No, he cares. He cares because it works.
Yes.
It works so well that there is no need. He knows that the more discourse that happens against it, the more it riles the other side up to watch. So when it's Hope and Liam, then you've got that base feeding the other base. Now they got to watch. Then they throw a target in. Bang. Boom, all of a sudden the loyalty switches to the other side. He knows exactly what he's doing, and he's a freaking master at it. I give him the most amazing props because he milks he takes a pool towel, like when you're done from the end of the day and it's so drenched, he wrings it and wrings it and wrings it. He gets every single drop of water out of that towel, and it's good 98% of the time. Go ahead, girl.
Yeah, because... Yeah,
I've got to add a quick thing. I wanted to throw in that that's a lot that's true, but there's also another thing. It's just the fact that what Candice was saying, I'm curious about that, Candice. You said you have a stance about, is it the gay situation that they're just not shown enough, or is it just the situation on the storyline? I'm kind of curious now.
Everybody knows that I'm an ally. Like, I rep for...
You are.
Representation is key, and I've been like that for a long time. So to me, when I look at these soaps and everything, Days of Our Lives does it right, because they do have representation that is in the forefront of storyline, okay? You have Chanel, Allie, you have Will and Sonny and whatnot. And even though they have drama, they still
Leo.
And Leo, I have to
remember Leo.
And I mean even Craig. So you have them in their individual, you know, storylines as well as being gelled in to other storylines. That's how it's done. Yes, you're going to have the comedy, you're going to have the drama. It's never a dull moment, okay? Now, Tariq fans, don't come at me because you know what I'm about to say. Young and the Restless.
Are you taking us? You taking us into Y&R there, Candice?
Yeah, well,
yes, she is. Yeah. And let her go with it because I got the
go with it.
Go ahead, girl. Go, girl.
Young and the Restless now has an obstacle. Because here's the thing, as great as the Tariq wedding was, and trust me, I loved every minute of it, there were some people who wanted drama at the wedding. And I understand because every time there is a same-sex wedding or a celebration, there's always drama. There's always a stir of like, oh, this person slept with this person and everything like that. Look, I'm pretty sure we still have the Bianca and Reese stuff still in our heads from All My Children, right?
Yeah.
Because, you know, that, you know, is the father of that child. Anyway, so that's a story for another day. But the thing is that, you know, now that Taraya is back from Paris, what's the story? Because here's the problem, and General Hospital had this problem too. You made the big to-do about it, the big, grand, woohoo! But now what do?
You're back.
Okay, hold on. Before you go on, I do have to say something. I was really mixed on my reaction to the wedding. I really was. I get the folks out there that want to see because every wedding, I mean, I remember Phyllis kicking through the door when she was being Gina Sagnoni. Come on, that was the best soapy classic, but I digress. Here's the thing. They gave us a celebration. Those folks had fun. They partied. They gave us a wedding hard too. Remember Nora and Bo? Like, there's only a few weddings in daytime history where they had fun. They partied. And this is LGBTQ Pride Month around the country. So, you know, I give such props to Young and the Restless because they gave us a celebration. Everybody had fun. Everybody looked like what a wedding should look like. I'm all for the drama, and I don't know who's getting married next, but, I'll be in there for the drama for the next wedding. But go Young and the Restless for giving up. And not only that, wait, hold on. I got one more thing to say. They let the gay stay. They gave us the pride in the wedding too, and I was just like, you go Young and the Restless, because CBS is the conservative kind of old guard network, and they gave us the pride celebration up in the wedding. And again, I just have to say this one more time: if you really watched, they had fun. Every single one of them were having a ball, and that, every once in a while, you need that kind of wedding on Daytime. All right, I'm done. Go ahead, Candice, continue.
Yeah, and I mean, that's the thing, is that, like I said, Days of Our Lives for having, currently, because, again, all my children, guys like One Life to Live, all these other shows that came beforehand, they did their thing, right? But currently, with the 4 soaps, Days did their thing. Bold and Beautiful, you know what? You had Maya. You had Karen and Danielle. You had Karen and Danielle, which was Caroline Jr.'s parents. And you dropped it. I'm finding it hard that you have no representation in Bold and Beautiful right now. I really am. General Hospital.
I wanted to add that is true, Candice, that over there at Bold and Beautiful, and I hate to say it, but we know this is true, so like you always say, we're going to keep it 100. Standards, like everywhere, wanting to say that they want a certain, head writer is gone. Well,
okay, wait. Willie, stop. Hold up. I'm going to tell you the real reason. Right now, all those soap fans out there, Bold and the Beautiful is in 200 and something countries around the world. They're in Sudan. They're in Abu Dhabi. They're in Saudi Arabia. They're in Australia. They're in Britain. They're in Canada. They're in some cool countries, but they're in places where they will never give you a true on male or female, true, fully realized storyline, because they have to think about their world market, and they can't sell that in these countries that, there's all those kind of restrictions. So they will never go that all the way there with any of those storylines.
Now,
Candice?
I will say that.
Oh, no. I understand that. I'm talking about the overall, where people are like, they don't like certain storyline, or you know how when they gripe about it and they're like, oh, I wish this one was gone. Let's replace him with this head writer. It's not going to work like that.
So this is what I say about that. To me, everybody has a favorite head writer on their soaps, okay? And there's people that do not like those head writers. I'm going to just say it. A lot of people don't like Ron Carlivati. A lot of people don't like him because he's probably the last writer, besides yours truly over here, who brings real life from the Agnes Nixon genre, but also brings real life experiences, which means the world culture, into the soaps. Okay, another person that if I don't mention this person's name, I'm going to get in trouble because I think she probably listens. Is Sally Sussman. Sally was the one who introduced us to Raya. She fought hard for Taraya to get on to the screen and for Young and the Restless to keep them on to the screen, right? Okay. But people wanted her gone. People want Josh Griffin gone, okay? I always say this. When you want a head writer to leave, just think about this. Not a lot of people from the outside world wants to come into the world of soaps. Mal Young and Hogan Shelford was the only two that came. And Cheryl Davis. Wait a minute, Cheryl Davis. Give me a shout out, girl. I love you, girl. Over at Days rocking it right now. But they was, and Jamie Giddens. I got to give Jamie his props too. But those
Yes.
But the thing is that you haven't had new blood come into this genre. So for those who keep saying, we want Ron, we want this and that, look, and I'm guilty of it too, of saying, I just want somebody to come in. I have to remember, we all have to, this genre is a rotating wheel. Josh has been on Days of Our Lives and Young and the Restless. Out of those four soaps, you know, Michelle Van Zeen has been on two of these soaps, okay?
She is.
Well, no, she hasn't been on Young and Days. She hasn't done that. Okay.
She was DH, right?
Dan and Chris. Yeah, Dan and Chris are still newbies, but Dan has been on General Hospital a long time. Again,
so is
Ron
Chris.
Carvati
I'm sorry,
has been
Chris.
on. Yeah. Go ahead.
Chris knows. Chris has been there long enough, and he gets the flow.
I mean, think about this. Okay. Over at General Hospital, you have Elizabeth Cordy, Kate Hall. Let me see, who else do you have over there? I mean, you have so many talented people over there. Days of Our Lives has Richard, Carolyn, has Ron Quad, David Kreisman. Oh, God, I'm blanking out. But they have so many people that's done other soaps. Young and Restless. I mean, seriously, like you have all these people who've been on other soaps before, but sadly because of the stigma of soaps with the mixture of fandoms, it's like it's a two-way street. Let me just say this. They know that they have to do whatever it takes to keep us, the audience, glued to watching these 4 soaps. They could not make any mistakes, okay?
Right.
Because what do the fans say on social media? We're going to stop watching the show if you don't show us our couple, or you're going to do this to our character.
Yep.
Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And keep in mind, we're now in an age where these writers and executive producers are on social media. So guess what? When you guys tag certain people, believe it or not, they actually read it. They're actually probably some of them going back to the drawing board and saying, oh, my God, what are we going to do? We don't want to mess this up. Da-da-da-da-da-da.
Exactly, and there were so many storylines that went hanging in the mist that we can point to that we know. They based our reaction. They said, okay, no, we've got to turn an entirely different direction with this.
Do you think that's why they're not having Christina temporarily right now at all for GH? Because they're doing, wasn't it the last time we had Christina, wasn't she also?
Okay, all right, hold up. So here's the deal. GH is so bloated with payments that they have to pay because their cast is so. GH is the Moses part of the sea, whatever, Ben-Hur, all of those big epic Easter movies. That's what GH is right now. And so they just don't have the bandwidth. They can't possibly tell a story for everyone that they have in their orbit right now. And
that's why you come up with a tornado. That's why you come up with a tornado 90 style. And because here's the thing. Okay, Christina, let me just address it because anybody who hears me, knows that this is my beef with General Hospital. Christina is a much important character than, and I'm sorry, I love this actor, but I would rather see more Christina than Cody.
Oh, God,
I would rather
and Branzo, too. And Branzo, too, I'm sorry.
And the thing is that, to me, Christina is a Cassadine and a Cornetto, okay? Yeah. Right now, she is needed on this show because here's the problem that I think we're all having. You start to bring these characters, these quote-unquote legacy characters on for an important story. Now, Christina's coming out was a big deal. But just like General Hospital, I've noticed a pattern. You win the Emmy, we don't see you for it.
And then you drop it, and it's gone like it never even passed the hot potato storyline. Yep. Go ahead, girl.
And they pick it up later.
And when it's later, it's too late. And I know we've just been all over the place, and I'm sorry to our listeners, but, this is how passionate we are about this genre, and taking it back to Days real quick. I mean, like I said, Days is doing representation very well. You do have, siblings, twins, who are in lust with a young woman of color.
Christine, yeah.
I mean, that's pretty. You got Sammy's twins wanting some chocolate. There you go, folks.
Yes, that's a good story. Great story.
I'm down with the swirl. Absolutely.
I mean, you have Willis, Sonny, and Leo. I mean, look, it is drama. It's dramatic. And everything. So
I want to say this to Willie for a second. I'm going to tell you something. Go back on YouTube and look at clips of Luke and Noah on As the World Turns.
Yes.
I think there's only one soap in the entire soap history that has done an LGBTQ or gay, if you want to call it, storyline that truly was just about coming out, falling in love, managing the difficulties. There was no supernatural or, I love Leo on Days of Our Lives, but,
I mean, you had Kyle and Fish on One Life to Live.
Brothers and sisters.
Think about it. Wait, Candice, think about it. Kyle and Fish weren't even secondary characters. They were fourth-berry characters.
I
Whereas
totally agree, but
as the world turns, Luke and Noah,
yes.
they put them up front and center, and they gave them an absolutely real love story. It's very rare that a soap is going to take that risk because they don't want to alienate the population that really doesn't want to see that. They want to see the LGBTQ in the campy way, in the Leo way. They want to see it in Sonny and Will, having the camping moments. They don't want to see Sonny and Will adopting another kid and doing the blended family and all that. It's not going to happen. Not now.
Understand.
But I'm going to say this too. What we have, though, is great because they push the envelope in little ways, just like The Young and the Restless. They gave them a gay-themed wedding, a celebration right at the beginning of Pride Month. Like, all the pieces fit into place. And then also, it was a ball for the cast to do what they did. You just look at them and as a cast and as the actual characters playing the written role, they had a ball and they were celebrating. So we take the wins that we get and we say to ourselves, just like, this character has been dead 3 different times and she's dead again. You know what? Chop the head off and let's hold it up in the museum to make sure that she don't come back again. Kind of thing.
Anthony, poor choice of words. All right.
I've got to say though, on that point, yes, very, very good for mentioning that. Yes, I'm very glad that Dave does represent its own way of the LGBTQIA community. That's really good. That's true. Also, I did want to add that, as you all know, Nita said DVRs for tomorrow. It's such a big day, and it's not really considered a spoiler since it's already out, as we know what to expect. But I can give you some teasers that Lucas has a blackout that he has no idea what he did the night prior, and
we already know this is
going to go after somebody that he suspects is behind a murder. So that'll be interesting. So get ready. It's gonna get it. How you say it's gonna be like a higher level. I cannot wait. It's gonna be exciting. Also, Gwen makes a shocking discovery. All that is coming soon on Days.
Yeah, Dave.
I hope the shocking discovery is that she's dead. Oh my God, I'm dead. I'm actually really dead.
You know what? I'm just gonna say
Did I say that out loud?
I'm going to say this right now. If Lucas is
discovery tomorrow.
Yeah, if Lucas is responsible for it, I'm going to call out bull for Days of Our Lives. I'm sorry. Y'all going to if he is behind, but moving on. I swear I'm going back on social media detox. This is great.
All right.
I want to say I'm very excited about Belle and EJ. I love that they're pairing. Whether it's a dream or a fantasy, I love them together. It is on. I know it's Sammy and EJ fans wanted them together, but I've got to say, I told the actors this. I am in awe, and I love the story, the way it's going with the twists and the turns and the directions, kind of like going off of the cliff, but in a whole different direction. Oh my God! Thank you, Ron. You're doing so good. I love this. I don't know what their ship name is, but I love EJ and Belle together. They steam it up.
It's not going to happen, and we all know it's not going to happen on a long-term basis, but I am so right there with you that I'm loving it right now, and it's juicy, and yes. Candice, back to The Young and the Restless. Talk to me about Victoria. Go ahead, girl. I know you need to.
Victoria's having a tantrum. But I'm going to say this. I'm Team Victoria. Let me tell you why. Okay, so she's decided to take Ashlyn back because she loves him. She needs him. And Ashlyn can't believe this, right? So pretty much Victoria is like, let's go. Let's live our lives. Let's forget everything. And Ashlyn is like, are you serious? And Victoria is like, yeah. So, Victor is, rallying up the team. He got Summer to be on his side to take down Ashlyn. Like, pretty much everybody Cal got a restraining order on Ashlyn because of Harrison, that cute kid. And, Michael got a civil suit against Ashlyn and all this. So everybody's coming at Ashlyn, right? So at the family meeting, Victoria throws the ultimate tantrum. Like, I've never seen it before. I actually I'm like this. She's like, down. I don't need you. I don't want you. Every time I turn around, you doing this, this, and this. Now, keep in mind, Nick is like, Victoria, you don't know what you're talking about. And Victoria's like, shut up, and everything. So Nikki in her fine pantsuit. Can we please give it up to Young and Russell's wardrobe? Because that was my outfit. That was giving me Susan Flannery. Yes, that was giving me Stephanie Susan Flannery. I was like all march to Nodge. But then, right, you have Adam. Adam is like sitting back, taking it in. Now, keep in mind, too, Adam wants Victoria out as CEO because he feels as though since everybody's going after Ashlyn, let's not forget who introduced us to Ashlyn. That was Victoria. How come Victoria is not suffering any consequences of her actions and stuff like that? Victor is heated. He is upset. Yeah. Now, on today's episode and whatnot, Victoria goes to Billy. And, as you know, the kids are away in boarding school, which Billy already knew because, remember, Victoria was trying to be smart and send it, but Billy already knew, right? So she pretty much tells Billy, you're in charge of the kids. I'm leaving. I'm going. So Billy and Victoria kind of get into it, and Lily sees this, and Lily's like, I'm done. I am done with you. I'm done because I can't take this. Every time Victoria is in some dismay, you're going to
drop me like a hot potato.
Hot potato. But Billy is like, this is about the kids and everything like that. So Lily and Billy are on the outs right now, y'all. I'm just saying. And then we got Phyllis and Diane. Here's a little story about Jack and Diane.
Wait, pause right there. Pause right there for a second, because I just have to say, we were on this same K2 radio show 2 weeks ago, and I was following my papers. And then they pulled, like Al Pacino in that really bad Godfather movie, the third one that, like, not a lot of people watched. They pulled me right back in. Young and the Restless. Candice, did they not listen to us? Did they not?
I got the private number. I'm like some people who got Frank Valentini's email. Okay. So the thing is that, so now we got Phyllis who made a fool out of herself and everything because she was gloating that her and Jack had sex. Y'all, Jack finally got some. So Diane is sitting back and eating popcorn and just enjoying the show and everything because Jack is like, what's this all about? And even Summer was like, okay, you've gone to the past point and whatnot. And so Phyllis is like, why is everybody on Team Diane's side all of a sudden? Because Kyle's on her side. Again, even though Jack does not approve of it, but Kyle said, as a parent now, I have to give my mother a second chance. And Diane is enjoying being grandmama and everything like that.
Wait, and right there, though, you have to admit, it is so classically soapy, the way that they've given a 5-point triangle. It's perfect. It's perfection.
Oh, yeah.
Go ahead, girl.
You got all of that going on right now. Like, Young and the Russell is popping right now, you guys. But here's the thing.
Yes, it is.
And for everybody who's saying that Victoria is da-da-da, here's what Candice has to say. Victoria is playing smart as I don't know what. See, this is why Candice is a Victoria fan. And, yes, I do like Adam. But even Adam is probably thinking the same thing. Victoria is smart as I don't know what. Because here's the thing. In order to really get close and nail Ashlyn, Victoria's giving it all up. She's giving it all up. So if Ashlyn truly loves her and all that stuff, and like it's a psychological thing, you guys. But I believe that Victoria is playing the mess out of Ashlyn, and
I do too.
Yep.
Okay, wait, hold on.
I wanted to add.
Hold on, Lily. The analysis of that is Victoria has been waiting for this moment from the entire all the way back to. Young and Bold and Beautiful, Katie, what is her name? But anyway,
time.
She's been waiting for this moment for the entire time that Victoria's been an adult character on this show. This is it. This is it, and they have written it perfectly. They've written it perfectly. Everything else, all the side pieces, I'm like a little pissed, except for the wedding, of course. But all the side pieces, I'm a little pissed off at. But right now, they've written it. This has been 30 years in the making, and it is going to be epic. It is going to be epic. Go ahead, Willie.
Yes. Okay. I want to do a shout out because I agree with you. I definitely loved the wedding. It was everything I could imagine and more, especially for the Tessa and Mariah fans. Everything was great, especially the dancing. That was so much fun. And also, I'm so proud of Victoria. She's standing up finally to her dad again after all this time that she's been building that up for years. I'm glad for Adam standing up for Victoria, telling everybody, no, wait. Let me hear what my sister has to say. He didn't just say Victoria. He mentioned sister. So he gets props for that. And
I'll give you that too, yeah.
I think it was, okay, you got to fix me here, but I'm not sure if it was Victoria or Nikki, but one of them told Nick, how many times have you forgiven Phyllis and Sharon throughout the years? This is Victoria doing the same thing with Ashton.
Yep.
So thank you, Nikki.
That was such a great line. Yep.
Thank you, Nikki. You got it, and you put Nick in his place. Nick is ready to judge anybody and everybody, kind of almost like Phyllis. And I'm glad everybody's putting him in his place. It's about time.
She did that with Nikki before I leave, because I have some prior engagement here. The thing is, she did that with Nikki. She said, how many times has Victor done a lot of bad things, and Nikki forgave him?
And you keep coming back. Yes.
And how many times did you apologize to Phyllis or Sharon?
Willie, for 1 second, because Candice is going to go. For those of us who have been waiting 20, 30 years
Guys,
for
these
kind of scenes, we're feeling it, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm ready.
I'm
ready. Just like CBS do promo. Feel the burn. Feel the heat. I'm feeling the heat. I'm feeling it. So, but I will talk to you guys. I will talk to you guys later. You guys have a good night. And by the way, Ridge, you, Bold and Beautiful, good surprise today. Thank you.
Yeah.
Let's go, Bold. General Hospital. We'll talk later. Yeah, we got some things to talk about.
Bye, Candice.
Bye, guys.
Bye, Candice.
Bye, Candice. Thank you for coming.
I wanted to add.
Okay.
I wanted to add for you. I've got some little.
First off, Will, I have to do a sound test because my internet's going back and forth, and I could lose you.
Okay.
You're here.
So I want to know if you can hear me.
Good. Yes, you're good.
All right. Okay, I'm back on now. All right. I'm sorry about this, but this happens with me.
Oh no, it happens. So, yeah, I get it. Okay, I'm so excited right now. Oh my God, Y&R is on fire. It's like I'm trying to remember right now. You guys can help me here. Who is the other writer besides Josh Griffith that's also on board? Because you can tell the
I told you, Sarah Bibble.
Sarah Bibble,
yeah.
Thank you. Yes. Oh my God! Shout out to Sarah. You guys are doing it. You're changing things. You're molding it. You're taking new directions. I can feel the pace of the stories. I can see the characters being more developed, and I want to do that. It's amazing. Okay, here's your teasers. Get ready, because on Y&R, here's what's coming up. There's going to be a pregnant pause. Someone could be pregnant. Oh, boy.
Oh, gee.
And here's another thing. It's going to be so much fun. Something happened between this launch that's coming for the merger that's going to make Devon regret his decision. And Adam takes a bold move that's going to cause a chain reaction that's going to affect all of Genoa City, but in an unexpected way. So get ready for that. That's on Young and the Restless.
Okay. I'm going to give out the number again.
Yeah.
Are you ready? Hey, we're talking General Hospital and Bold and the Beautiful right now. So if you want to call in and chime in, it's 1-718-506-1065. and press 1. I have Anthony and a surprise from Will, who I didn't expect today. Thank you for coming in, Will.
Welcome.
So give us a call. So what do you want to go with? You want to do bold first or GH first?
Yeah, we're gonna go with bold, and I have to say this. I am very, very surprised in a good way that bold took this story in the direction that it's taken. Bold does something that no other soap opera does. Bold gives us a flash in the pan villain, except for Sheila. But, Sheila is Sheila. She's going down in soap opera history. But other than Sheila, Bold gives us a flash in the pan. That's the villain. Is the evil is always quick. It burns bright, and then it goes away quickly. I love the twist that they gave us in the last. Oh my God, I love. And
you like that?
I do, and they're setting up another psychopath storyline that we're gonna love. I just have to say that.
One?
Bold. Oh, you don't see it coming?
Well,
Willie, you see it, right?
Yes.
With Sheila
okay. I've been waiting for this. Here we go. Okay.
Lee.
There's another twist. There's another twist coming to Bold and the Beautiful.
You talking Mike? Yeah, Mike was on today.
Go ahead, Willie.
Okay. There's another twist coming to Bold and the Beautiful, and get ready because 2 new pairings are starting to develop for the summer. Bill is going to find himself connecting with an unexpected person he never imagined.
Yep.
And DK is going to also be connected to someone he didn't expect in a million years. So this is going to be really fun. And Hope is going to find a way to deal with Liam in an unusual way because he's still kind of pining in his own way about Steffi being gone for Paris. So get ready because you're going to see a whole different side of Hope that you've been wanting to see for years. That's going to come up soon on The Bold and the Beautiful.
Yep. And the psychopath that's brewing in, that's culturing, brewing, it's going to, when it explodes, it's going to be epic.
With Lee and Sheila?
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah. I hope Lee gives it to her.
Lee's going to give it to her. Ultimately, though, Sheila's going to come out on top. And that's fine. We want Sheila to come out on top because ultimately Sheila is the villain. Sheila's the Helena Cassadine. Sheila's the Stefano Gamera. Sheila Carter for Bold and the Beautiful is the villain that will always give us return on our investment. But Lee, right now, it's coming. Wait.
I want to hear props for Naomi Matsuda.
Yes. And Bold and the Beautiful is about to go to places that they've never gone before as far as their psychopaths are concerned. And good for them.
Yes. And shout out to Timberland Brown. Congratulations on your 2-year contract with Bold. I'm so excited for her. And also, a little birdie told me that Bold is doing a location shot. So that's going to be so much fun.
Yep. All right, so David.
Steffi?
No, it's Steffi.
Well, how soon do you think the truth's she's gonna find out? We know she's
November.
November, you think?
Yeah.
What truth? She already knows about Sheila.
No, about Finn. I'm talking when.
Oh, well, I'm sure they're gonna build that kind of slow because, if I recall, with Steffi being away, the actress being away for maternity leave, and that gives them enough little leeway for the character to leave for a little bit. I predict she'll probably be back by either midsummer or probably the fall.
No, she's not going to be back until the 2nd/3rd week of September. So what they're going to do with
isn't that fall?
No, it's fall, but you said the end of summer.
No. I was predicting. I was predicting. I thought maybe between midsummer or fall, because I know with the maternity leave they give them at least 6 weeks or more.
Hey, we have a caller. Hold on.
All right.
I gotta see who this is. I have no idea who this is.
I think I know who it is.
Oh, I have a feeling too. Let me see if I can get him.
Anthony, how you been?
I've been good, my friend. I really have.
We still got Cassie with us?
No, she's gone. Candice is gone.
Okay.
But Willie and Cassie Incorporated is just going. David? All right. So,
hold on.
Willie Cassie Incorporated. Okay.
Yep, here we are.
On Facebook, look up Willie Cassie. All right. Hey, how you doing,
We have
caller?
Nathan on the line.
Hey, guys.
Yay, we got Nathan in the house. Whoop, whoop.
How you doing,
Hey,
Nathan?
how you doing? I'm doing good. I'm doing good. I'm doing very good.
All right, so talk to us.
We're doing Bold.
Okay, so I have a question about Bold. There was a rumor, I think a couple of weeks ago, that said that there was going to be a character was going to get killed off sometime in the summer. Who do we think it probably will be? I think it's probably going to be either Grace or Paris.
I'm going with Paris.
No, it's
Willie?
a major character. It's a major character that dies. I know
it's a
who
major
it is.
one?
I'm not going to tell nobody, but it's going to make a lot of fans in an uproar, so get ready for it.
Oh, okay.
I know who. Willie, does it factor into Ridge?
Is it what?
Does the death factor into Ridge?
Ooh, okay. Here's a little clue. The death that's going to impact Los Angeles will upset a lot of people, and not just the fans, but also Los Angeles themselves. There's going to be a lot of crying, believe me.
I know who it.
Oh, wait a minute.
If you follow the clues, you kind of get where it's going. You'll kind of figure it out, probably like a game of Clue. Yeah, I don't want to say who it is because I don't want to spoil that one.
No, don't.
But me and Nathan already know who it is, and we're not even going to say it either. But get ready, folks, because Bold and the Beautiful is going to take it up to the next level. And all I can say is grab hankies because you're going to be crying for weeks.
I know.
Oh, boy.
Okay. Oh, boy.
Caller, any other observations or questions before you go?
Yeah, I wanted to ask you guys about Sheila. Do you think we'll see her back on the Bold and Beautiful down the road, maybe sometime in the fall, maybe sometime next year? Because I think I read somewhere that she signed like a 2-year contract. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to stop you right there. Yeah. She signed a 2-year contract. We will be seeing a lot from Sheila. And I have it on a very good direct source from the Bell organization. She will be crossing over to The Young and the Restless for February sweeps of next year. So we've got a lot of Sheila coming.
Yes, David, whoever said it, I heard about that today. I was like, oh, my God, my dream came true.
Wow.
Yes. Nathan, before
finally.
You go, we want to know.
Sheila's going to have to answer for all of what she's done. Yes.
Wow, I did not expect that at all because, I mean, for years, the last time that, she was quote-unquote on as Sheila, we've been kind of, I think a lot of people really want to see the character of Sheila back on Y&R. It makes perfect sense because next year, the Young and Restless will be celebrating their 50th anniversary. So bringing Sheila back is perfect. I'm loving that.
All I can tell you is look for the New Year's Eve episode, and things will simmer down for a couple of days, and then for February sweeps, We're going to see a lot of Sheila in Genoa City. She's going to answer for all that she's done up to this point. They are going to milk Sheila, a.k.a. Kimberly Brown, for all that she's worth. And I am on board.
Oh, my God. I'm so excited, too,
Wow.
because my birthday's in January, so this, to me, is like a late birthday gift when I heard about it. Now you know why I told you, Nathan, to call in. We always love to surprise you right here on T2 Radio Network. What else? Oh,
yes, we
yeah,
do.
the other part we're
You
going to say
surprised me.
Do we know yet if Deacon is also going to cross over Young and the Restless, or no?
I think he should. He's in
Okay,
this.
so
He should, absolutely.
Diane mentioned him a lot.
So
they're
planning
to bring him in.
They're planning a 7 crossover actor/event. Bill is going to go back to The Young and the Restless as his Deacon, as his Sheila. Coming back to Bold and the Beautiful, we're going to see Sally come back to Los Angeles. We're going to see Adam come into Los Angeles. And don't forget, go all the way back in the history when Adam was a stripper in a gay club. That is going to come back to haunt him when he comes back to Los Angeles. It's going to be huge and epic. And Young and the Restless, if you continue on the path that you are for your anniversary, you're going to blow us all out of the water. And I'm so on board for it.
Who was the stripper in a gay club?
Adam was?
Willie. Oh, yeah.
Oh, you got me. No,
I can't.
You shocked me.
You gotta.
Adam was a stripper? I don't remember that.
David, you remember, don't you?
I'm
trying to go back.
I only know Nikki as a stripper. I don't remember Adam being a stripper. I know he kissed Rafe years ago.
Yeah. That was a ploy.
When Adam
I know. But, okay, now you got to speak up a little. What is this with Adam being a stripper? Because I want some intel here. I don't remember him being a stripper. I know he was in Vegas. What was that, Nathan? As Snake or somebody?
No. When Adam came back to Genoa City, when he was played by Michael Mueller, whatever his name is,
yeah,
there was
Michael
that whole storyline, and he admitted to Nikki during that period that when he didn't know who he was, he thought he was LGBTQ and had a whole life that no one knew about. They never really explored that, but I'm telling you right now, over the summer, we're going back to that.
Oh, my God, yes! Oh, my God!
Whoa, wow.
Oh, my God.
This is interesting.
Right here. That is true.
Very interesting.
That is like a fan fiction come true, isn't it, Nathan?
Yes, it is. That should be good.
Willie and Nathan, think about it for a second. With the storyline that's happening right now, you can see exactly how it's going to come out if you really think about it. Because Adam is throwing his weight behind Victoria for a reason. And what is that reason?
He wants control of Newman.
The narrative. He wants control of the narrative of all of the Newmans. And he wants to make sure that his dalliances, when he didn't exactly know who he was, don't come out. But they're going to, and it's going to be...
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay,
that should be good. It should be fun.
Yes. Okay, so Nathan, you'll be surprised. I heard about it today over the grapevine, which I'm very excited about. There is a surprising return of a new character that will pop up soon on The Young and the Restless. That's probably connected to what David's saying about this past of Adams, which connects to what I also heard.
I didn't say that was
Sally.
Anthony.
Thank you, Anthony. Sally moving or crossing over to Los Angeles. It's going to be so exciting. I heard about that too. So it's going to be an exciting 2022/2023. It's going to be fun.
And I hope it's better than the last crossover.
David, at this point, I'm going to put good money down that they're going to do it right this time. They know the things that we're waiting for, and they want to give us those pieces. We're going to see Sheila and Lauren. We're going to see Sheila and Phyllis. We're going to see Sheila having that ultimate breakdown and having to finally answer to all of the things that you know, the whole Phyllis pretending to be, and the, you know, mask, whatever you want to call it, when she was Phyllis. We're going to get an answer to all of those stories, and it's going to be phenomenal. But I think we need to grab that shuttle and jump over to Port Charles.
Yes, we have to do that. I have to admit, I have a comment.
All right, and then I've got one too.
Okay, my thinking is, and Anthony and Will, you know what I'm talking. I want to bring up Elizabeth and Finn, and I want to say that I'm hoping there's some more repercussions from the pills, because I want to see her take it like Hope did on Days of Her Lives. She was hooked on those sleeping pills. She got hooked, and she was like sleepwalking, and she became like she was basically sleeping with every guy that and causing trouble.
You know what's not going there.
And that's the part I want to see Elizabeth take. I don't want to.
I know, but it's not going there. It's not going there, David. And I'm going to answer that in a second. But I want to take 1 second to go all the way back. General Hospital of every other soap opera. So every soap opera does something good, and when they do it good, they do it wonderful. General Hospital, you have the knack for finding the talent in your younger performers. Wiley, Emma, Sonny's daughter with Ava. What's her name?
Avery.
Violet. Avery.
Oh, Violet.
Wiley, Avery. Oh my God, I'm so in love with Wiley. I'm so in love with Violet. I'm so in love with Avery. General Hospital, you do an amazing job at finding the young talent that's going to tear at our hearts and make us fall in love with them. You started with Robin, and you went all the way through. Now, David, I'm going to answer your Elizabeth question. I am so disappointed in how this storyline went. I really am.
Thank you.
I'm so disappointed. What's going to ultimately end up happening is something is going to come out from Elizabeth's past with her parents, and we're finally, General Hospital, thank you for finally putting a storyline. We will understand why her parents aren't around, but if you don't give us Jess in this storyline, I swear to God, I'm filing my divorce papers, as Candice is so fond of saying. If you want to open this can of worms, I'm all for it, but you have to give us at least Jess. If not the mom, what was her name? Carolyn.
Carolyn.
If not, Carolyn. If not Carolyn, you've got to give us at least Jess. He's got to answer for Elizabeth.
Oh yeah,
they
have to be there.
Steven.
Yeah,
he's got to answer for
Hayden.
Hayden. Yeah, and if you don't give us this, and I am all for giving Rebecca Hurst. She so deserves, absolutely incredibly deserves a storyline to mark her anniversary on this show. I have always said the talent in Rebecca Hurst that they have consistently, over and over and over again for years, they have delineated her talent and left her as a B player when she's so ready for prime time. If you do not bring Jeff into the story, then why did you tell it in the first place? That's what I have to say.
Amen. Thank
David,
you.
Willie?
Thank you.
And bring him up.
I've got to add. Oh, my God, I've got to add this. Okay. Here's the little teasers. Get ready because, yes, I'm with you. Liz's storyline did disappoint me, but what's coming up is going to shock you and make your jaws drop because Elizabeth's past will be recentered,
evaluated,
and focused on front line. That's true. That's going to happen. Finn is going to find a slight chance of hope that maybe he might be able to get through to Elizabeth. And also, there are some shocking surprises coming because I don't know if you knew this, Nathan knew this, but
Brenda Barrett is returning back to Port Charles.
Who?
Brenda Barrett.
That's true.
Brenda's coming back to Port Charles. I love you, Vanessa.
Let's call a spade a spade. Brenda Barrett is Rory Cabrera's mother. Let's call it right now.
You think Rory's Brenda's son?
Rory is Brenda's son.
Who's Rory?
Rory is the cop that likes Trina.
No. Okay, I had to think for a minute. The cop. Okay, I don't know how that works. But, okay, Nathan, again, we know this, and we wanted to surprise all of you. Okay, Brenda is returning. I don't care what no one says because we all know it's true. Brenda's returning, and when she returns, there's a crisis that brings her to Port Charles, and it's not about Carly. This time, Brenda has a big storyline that's going to affect a lot of people on the show. And of all people, Ava Jerome is going to find herself connected to the past somehow with Brenda, and so will Dante. So get ready for that. Jocelyn, Trina are teaming up together, and they're going to team up with Spinelli to take on Esme. And Ava and Spencer are going to find a way to neutralize Esme. So get ready. It's going to be exciting.
Okay. I have to say this. Frank, if you're listening, and I know that you probably are, we all know what happened in Christina Wagner's life. So if you pivot the storyline and change it, because I would rather have you put it on hold and deal with other things and then come back to it when Christina is ready to act than for you to pivot on this storyline. We have been waiting for this for decades. We all know that Christina Wagner, a.k.a. Felicia, is Esme's mother. And we all know that there was a tragedy that happened this week. I'm begging you, Ron, please don't on the storyline. Drag it out. I will give you permission. Drag this out for as long as you... Yes. Frank,
you addressed the wrong writer.
They've got Esme there.
I meant
she
Frank.
Can do a lot of stuff while Felicia's gone.
Yep. Please don't change the storyline now.
Yes. Thank you. And I got a quick pin on it. Nathan, you still with us?
Yeah.
Yes, I am. Right here.
Nathan is here.
Okay. Do you want to tell David and Anthony your little teaser for Y&R real quick? We forgot to drop it for you.
Yes, I do. I got it right here in front of me. Get ready, because coming up, Phyllis will be teaming up with Nikki to take on Diane.
Yep.
So get ready for that one.
Yep.
Thank you, Nathan.
Okay.
You always come through for us.
And I'm
no problem.
Over the last couple of weeks of this show, I have said I did not like how Diane was reintroduced. Having said that, I'm so on board. I am so on board. I am so waiting for...
Oh, my God, yes. I've been tweeting Susan, the actress that plays Diane. I've been tweeting like crazy because I'm like, thank you so much for coming back. You really spiced up the character. You're bringing her bold. You're fighting feisty, and I'm loving this because, well, we all know now, but there's so much coming up with Diane, and also if you pay close attention, you'll notice that Diane and Ashlyn are getting closer to bond. So, well, like I said before,
I'm going to throw a little
you got to pay attention to that.
Diane has something else on Victor. So, yes, she's buddying up to Ashlyn, but she's also got a card to play with Victor. So watch out for that.
Yes, and the last thing I got to point for Y&R fans, it is going to happen. You just got to be patient. There's a murder that's going to rock Genoa City in an unexpected way, so get ready for that. And there's lots of suspects, so you can't miss it, only on Young the Restless.
All right. So
thank you. Back to GH.
Going back to General Hospital. Yeah. I'm
so
sorry.
Tell me more about Elizabeth. What do you see coming?
Well, I see that it's going to all boil down to something that happened with her parents, and they have to actually bring her parents here.
I absolutely agree.
All right. I want to. So I acknowledged already the young actors and actresses, Violet, Wiley, that are playing.
Yes.
Oh my God, stellar performances. But I want to go in a different direction. We all know that Spinelli is behind society matchups.
Yep.
We all know the Cutter / Colby entrance. So it fell so flat for me. And I have to say, the General Hospital.
Cody?
Yeah, Cody.
Oh,
The entrance.
Wow. I think he has potential, but yeah, it fell flat for me too.
It fell so entirely flat for me with the build-up that they gave us for it. I love that Liesl is having her maternal, all of that on display. But, okay, give me something that brings her back to Cuckoo Crazyland.
Well, don't forget Cody has something on Dante, because Dante's already freaking out that Cody's in town.
Okay, so we all see this coming. We know that Lulu is going to wake up from that coma at some point. They couldn't have pressed that Sam wanted Cody on us more if they had her rip her entire clothing off and did the hoochie-coochie in front of them. They set that up. And General Hospital, I have to tell you, I please pay attention. Please hear this. Carly and Drew are not the next couple. There is that elevator scene between them when they did that whole crossover thing back in the day. It was, I felt it too. I did. But as you're writing,
it's not the same.
Oh my God. Oh my God. It is so bad. It's so bad. Now, I've
got good news for you, and here we go. If you didn't know about it, Drew is going to get tired of Carly's lies, so they won't become a couple. And Austin and Maxie will finally break up very soon. I don't know if they broke up yet, but Austin and Maxie are going to break up very soon.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. I want Maxie and the new guy, the new guys together. I want Austin and Britt together. But that's me. Mm-hmm. But having
the rumors that are spreading, and I kind of see where it's going. I wouldn't be surprised if GH decides to reunite Maxie and Spinelli.
I wouldn't be surprised either. And I have to say this. Christina Wagner, I love you. I love you. I love you. Please come on Take Two Radio. But
I love you, Christina and Jack. I love both of you.
I do. If you can't handle right now, I feel it. I understand it. Please give us somebody. Pull from one of the other soaps and recast Felicia, because this story has to be told. It has to be told.
I've got a question. That you just brought up a good point here. If they temporarily were to recast Felicia just for a little bit, who do you see taking on that role? Because that's a really big, iconic role there.
Jessica, what's her full name, David? Jessica from One Life to Live. Vicky's daughter. Jessica Tuck? Yes. Jessica.
Oh, the one that was on General Hospital?
And Chad's mom.
She was. Yeah, we can't. She was already in General Hospital.
Oh, she was Cassandra. She was Cassandra. She was Cassandra.
Who could play Felicia?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe GH could do that.
Oh, my God.
Before.
Okay.
You have somebody?
You know who I could see stepping into Felicia to go through this period and then handing it back to Felicia? Suzanne Summers. Suzanne Summers.
Suzanne Summers?
Remember Three's Company? Yep.
Oh, from Three's Company?
Yep.
Oh, David, that sounds good, but aren't they, if I'm
correct,
doesn't Three's have like a budget?
Well, girl, I mean, I don't think she sells very many Thigh Masters right now, so she's probably looking for a gig that she can pick up just for a short period of time. So come in and play Felicia and hand it back to Christina Wagner right at the moment, that pinnacle moment where she has to face Esme, she has to face Ryan, and then she has to turn around and face Mac. and Anna.
Yes, it's going to be so good. I cannot wait. Yes. Nathan, who do you think could play a temporary Felicia?
That's a good question. The only two people who I can see playing that role, number one, maybe Gina Tognoni, or maybe the other one who played the recasted Felicia. I think her name was Sandra Ferguson.
Oh. Yes. Oh my God. Yes.
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 Who is that? Who's the character?
She played Felicia when Felicia was hooking up with Luke. Yes, I feel that too.
Okay.
Yes.
I can't remember, but good job, Nathan. Good job.
Amanda from Another World.
Thank you.
Oh my God,
Yeah.
I love Amanda. In Another World, I miss it. Okay, I got a quick story. I got a quick question for everybody on the board. You, and David, Anthony, and you, Nathan. How are we feeling about this crazy LQ storyline that seems to be confusing a lot of people? Oh, and shout out to Robert Adamson. Thank you for taking temporary.
Yeah.
Michael Corinthos. Oh my God, I love you.
Okay, absolutely. Shout out to Robert who stepped in, but they're doing it again. They're writing Michael the way that they wrote Elizabeth. They're writing Michael into a corner that they can't come out of. And I'm not a fan of this storyline whatsoever.
I think it's a filler storyline.
He is becoming an insufferable ass.
Mm-hmm.
Agreed.
I'll be honest with you guys. I really feel, and you know, as writers, but I feel this is like a filler storyline that'll push towards fall, and hopefully we can get rid of this LQ story.
Nope. I know exactly where they're going with this. Willow is going to find out. Hear me. Willow's going to find out that Nina is her mother at the same time that Michael has some revelation about what he's doing to Sonny, and they're both going to go through the drama at the same time. And I give them props and kudos for setting this up, but Michael is I can't even bear to sit through the scenes at this point.
Well, this is just to all of y'all. But don't you think it'd be a little easier if we could just get rid of Michael for temporary, have him go on the out-of-town trip? Because a little too much Michael every day, it's a little bit nauseating now.
And it'll be interesting to know how they
going with this,
usher Drew off.
They're gonna give the Nina as Willow's mother reveal at the moment where Michael has to make that ultimate decision. Does he care about the lives of his brothers, sisters, his kid, etc., or getting revenge on Sonny? And at that same moment, Willow's going to get it's so classic soap. It's written on the walls. And Frank, I know you're listening.
And Chris and Dan.
Go with it. Go with it. This is the part we're waiting for.
Thank you for bringing on Dex. I love Dex. He's so cute.
Okay.
Yeah, that was a surprise.
You know what's going to happen with Dex, don't you?
Sonny will find out.
Like they say on Greek, tell me more.
Dex, okay, all I'm going to say is this. Watch for Dex and Brad to interact.
Oh, Lord.
Yes, I knew it. Nathan, remember we caught it. Remember we said that Dex is going to be gay.
Yeah, yes, we did. We really did.
Not only is Dex going to be gay, but Dex and Brad are going to figure out the whole West Coast /Cyrus mob war of 4.0, 5.0. I don't even know at this point how many mob wars there's been. But Dex and Brad are going to figure it out before anyone else does. And you know who's going to play a crucial part in that storyline?
Selena.
Oh, my God.
Nope.
I'm just
well, yeah, but nope. Curtis,
Sonny,
and Selena. That's all I'm going to say at this moment.
Okay.
I've got a question.
Because we know Jeff Kober's going to be on for the 15,000th episode because he was in the picture.
Yes, but he's only. All I'm going to say is this: he's only going to provide Wu/Brad with information that will coincide with something that Dex needs from Michael, but he's going to end up turning his alliance. Just watch. It's going to be good. It's going to be
I know. Good. Oh my God, I can see it.
You know, Billy, don't you?
Our fanfics are coming true.
Yep.
Okay, I've got a quick question, and if you figure it out, for Anthony, Nathan, and Ollie on board. Okay, I'm curious about this. Have you figured out what's going on with Selena and Brad? Is it just me, or do you think that Selena is actually Brad's real life mom? Because she's very protective of Brad, like he was his son. And I feel like, please let it, Frank, if you make Selena Brad's mom, I am going to marry General Hospital.
Ding, 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 ding. That's all. I'm just going to say ding, 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 ding. You know, when you go to the carnival.
Because the clues are there. Remember when she first came down, what did she do? She went to the bar and she started, of course she started with saying anything wrong. But the first thing she did as soon as she hit town was mix with everybody. But the main area she hit was the bar. And she went to Curtis. And that gave me a clue like, okay, wait a minute. She's not acting like an aunt. She's acting like a mother protecting her son of Brad.
Mm-hmm. She is.
Okay, let me see two things. So, we are building towards the storyline where Portia has to finally admit that Trina is Curtis's child. Why do you think Selena Wu is so interested in Curtis? And what does Marshall, and we got clues. If you really think about it and go back and watch a couple of episodes, we got clues that Selena and Marshall also have a past. Selena and Marshall and Sonny also have a past. So all I'm going to say is
that's
buckle
right,
up.
Didn't I read something Curtis, I read something there that's coming up. It says Curtis is uneasy when Selena and TJ talk.
Uh-huh.
Are you telling me, and this is just me fantasizing here, are you trying to tease that Selena is Brad's mom and Curtis is Brad's dad?
No, not Brad.
Not Brad, and not Curtis. But yeah, you're close. You're close to it. Sniff around a little bit more.
Okay, I am on cloud 9 right now. DH, you did it. You finally did it. You get all of the balloons.
Yep.
This is what we've been waiting for. Oh, my God,
yep.
You guys. This is Pride Month. This is everything. I heard about this. I wasn't sure where they were going with it because I heard about it. That Brad does get a new lover, and I wasn't sure who it was. I thought it was a rumor, but then when you guys mentioned it, you just confirmed it. Yes, thank you. This is definitely making Pride Month. Thank you again.
Look at the scenes that they've given. Look at the scenes that they've given us recently. So there's going to be a huge triangle between Brad and Britt and something else. And on top of it, what Selena knows about Britt is only going to complicate matters further. Austin and Maxie are breaking. Oh my God! Just follow all of the patterns, and you'll see exactly where it's going, and it's going to be so good.
Oh my God! Good. Oh my God, Nathan! I hope your hands up in the air. High five! You go.
Yep, you did it. We all did it.
Yep.
We did.
Take it up a notch with all the stories.
This for months. We've been asking this for months because don't get me wrong, I love Lucas. But I'm not going to lie. As soon as I saw Dex's hot, cute body, face, I was like, yes, he's got to be for Brad. He's got to be for Brad.
He doesn't know who he's for, and that's going to be a lot of fun.
Hey, guys, we have to
Yeah. I just got one last question.
Call it a night
I've got
tonight.
one last question. Anything for Springer Nation that you can throw at us? Because everyone wants to know any clues of when Spencer and Trina might share that little kiss.
Well, I don't know. Maybe before Chase and Brooklyn share their next one.
Let's put it this way.
Oh, my God,
Rory,
that was a good one.
Rory is going to play so hard into so many storylines. Oh, things are about to explode. I don't think Spencer and Trina are going to get the kiss. And I think when Rory's backstory comes to light, and by the way, William Lipton deserves like the awesome performer. Alexa, I know. Thank you. Stop. That's my alarm that I got to go to my next meeting. But William Lipton, Cameron, is soap performer of the Saurus generation, whatever you want to call it. All right. Good night, everyone.
Yep. Let's say good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, folks.
That's so much fun.
Thank you for having me. Thank you. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Get connected with Take Two Radio on Facebook or Twitter at Take Two Radio. For email updates on future shows, follow at Blog Talk Radio. For previous episodes, upcoming guests, and more, visit Take2Radio.com.